Alright, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome to Tipsy Book Talks. I'm Rayanne.
And I'm Taylor, and today we are going to be doing the Put a Spring in Your Step book tag. So we don't actually know who this tag was created by. I tried to do some research, but it led to a dead end. So we found it on the channel Little Wolf, which we will link down below. That was just the person who we saw do it. They had a link that went to another link that went to another link, so I'm not sure who created it. If you know, please let us know.
We wanted to go ahead and do a tag that showed a little bit more about our shelves. And today with this tag, I'll be drinking my take on a watermelon spritzer. It's kind of based off of two recommendations that I got from two different friends. One of my best friends told me to try gin and watermelon, and my other friend told me that mixing sparkling drink, like a hard seltzer, with gin also tastes really good. So I dabbled with both of those, and I actually did a watermelon rosé by Little Big Town. Their like day drinking collection. It smells really good, so we'll see how it tastes. And I put a little shot of gin in it.
And with that, I will be drinking what I am calling the Rose Buzzed. Kind of like Rosebud. I'm sorry, I have to explain it. But yeah, basically this is just elderflower liquor, champagne, and a little bit of grenadine. I tried making another one first that I kind of had no idea where it was going, but I just tried to throw some things together. Yikes, this is what it looks like. That happens when you try to make your own drinks, but you know, it's all about the process, all about the fun, so we're having a good time, so cheers!
Cheers, everyone! No, it mostly just tastes like the wine. It's pretty good.
So let's hop right into it with question 1. How do you decorate your bookshelf? So as you can see by mine, I really like to decorate it. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. I often, for the most part, keep it somewhat the same, like it has the same type of flow, but I'll just kind of reorganize it and put my favorite books on display. So I have it pretty much done by series and then also what fits on the shelf.
So I tend to decorate it with a bunch of random things. I also pulled some stuff that I had on my old bookshelf. So we got Pascal up here. Next to him we have a little lantern, and that was in my girlfriend's proposal that I kind of talked about, which you can find in our Drunken Love book tag. And then I have a little tiny Hey Hey that one of my good friends got for me. So that's little Ray Ray. Behind me, you can't see it because my head's blocking it, but I have a little like music box. But if we're talking about organizing, I tend to organize my shelf, not even like by color or anything, so it looks really chaotic. But yeah, each shelf is a different genre. We have fantasy, mystery thriller, more contemporary books, mostly romances, some LGBT, and then the bottom is like all classics. And I have another bookshelf in a different bedroom. They're just a bunch of like kids books that we've saved and we like in all of our horror sections. So yeah, number 2 is to recommend a book with a beautiful nature description. I'm really bad when it comes to like books and nature descriptions. So the only thing that kind of comes to mind in this is probably ACOTAR, because I've talked about this, or like briefly talked about this with Brooke from Booked and Boozy, and we kind of both agree that like Sarah J Maas has this ability to just describe scenery so well that you kind of get really immersed in it. And so I feel like that's the best thing that I could describe, because when she describes the spring court, it might not even be that like extensive, but I feel like I was fully immersed and I could just picture this beautiful garden, like garden-y type environment.
So this one was a little bit harder for me because I am someone who focuses so much on plot that I honestly sometimes find myself skipping over descriptions of things just to get the ball rolling. But some books have really rooted me in a spot, which I think is an excellent quality that books have. One of them being my basic ass picking Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. The reason I chose this one was because all Sarah J Maas books in general have a quality that just like their descriptions of scenery really have, I don't know, this ability to root me in one scene. I always talk about Booked and Boozy, but Brooke has the same exact feeling where whenever she reads Sarah J. Maas books, like, she is able to vividly see them as well. So I just feel like this one specifically, they're entering a new, I guess, like, a new part of their realm. Is it a new country? It's probably a new country, but they're entering a new country, and you can kind of, like, really vividly see the way that things change from one country to another, which I thought was really awesome. Okay, number 3 is show us a book with a beautiful cover, and to have to pick one book with a beautiful cover is really hard because I have a lot of books that I really love. But you will see I often try to display my favorite book covers. Not the Iron Trial, but that one was just like, it fit there. But I love the Lady Midnight cover. I love the Chain of Iron and the Chain of Gold and Kingdom of Ash. And then also, I think to this day, my favorite cover ever is another Sarah J. Maas book, and it is House of Earth and Blood, which is in the Crescent City series. And I don't know what it is about this cover that just, like, makes my jaw drop whenever I look at it. I think it's really beautiful, and I love it so much, and I've never put it in a bookstagram just because I do not know how to do it justice. So I love it.
This is also something that I fall into the cliche of. The never judge a book by its cover. I do judge a book by its cover, and that is why I tend to buy books, is because I like the cover. A few that I have picked out that I really like are all books that kind of, I think, give off an air of mystery. And they're all just like ones that, because of that, I wanted to read them because now I'm intrigued and now I want to know what they're about. So start off, I have these Violent Delights. This is beautiful. This is absolutely stunning. I just like how, like, the intertwining of the letters with the design of the background and, like, the coming off of the dragon. I think that's amazing. The Hazelwood, this is an absolutely gorgeous cover. The shimmer. See that glow? Look at that glow. The intricacies of everything that happens in the story in just the cover, it's amazing. I love it. It's beautiful. But you have The Balcony by Jane DeLury and The Last Garden in England by Julia Kelly. Both of these I really like. The, like, wrought iron fencing, the, like, garden greenhousey type look. This is something that, like, okay, so this is a contemporary and this one's a mystery, and, like, the old style housing, like, this just brings on an air of, like, ghosts, murder, what happened, what's going on, whereas this one is absolutely gorgeous. This seems a lot of history, maybe a romance involved. So yeah, I tend to base books off of their covers, and when a book has a gorgeous enough cover, I am intrigued. Number 4 says, spring is about fresh starts. It's a great time to start a series, so what would you recommend? 2 that I am reading right now that I was told that I would really like, and I'm kind of banking on really liking them, one of them was From Blood and Ash, just put that right there, and then the A Touch of Darkness series.
Okay, so for this one, I have tons of series that I would recommend that I have already read, but I have already recommended them all to you, so I'm going to give you one that I'm currently reading, which is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So I am actually only partway through this very first book, so it's kind of weird that I'm already recommending this series, but for the most part, I know a lot of people who really enjoy it, and I am about 100 pages in right now, and I am loving it so far. So this is a series that I would recommend. I don't know if I would recommend it in the springtime because I feel like it does give me more fall vibes, but you know, to each their own. I feel like most series give you fall vibes, so it's kind of hard to pick that. But yeah. Okay, number 5 is, it is almost time to start reading outside. Have you been brave enough yet? And I can say yes. I actually mainly have only done it because I house sat for my aunt last week, and she has a really great backyard where she has tons of furniture outside. She's got a pool, she's got koi fish, she's got dogs, and I spent, like, basically the whole entire time house sitting outside because we do not have a yard like that. So yeah, I definitely took advantage of it, tried to get some reading done outside. I probably overall only read about, like, 50 pages outside because it was hard with the dogs constantly wanting to play fetch, constantly jumping in the pool and then coming and shaking all over my book, which was really upsetting. Anyways, no, I'm so just kidding. But yeah, I feel like that's the only reason why I did not get that much reading done, but I do enjoy reading outside.
Sadly, no. I love to be warm, and like the best place is like at noon. I love to sit outside. I put on my little cap and my glasses. But yeah, I love to just sit out there and warm up and read. That's like my favorite task. Number 6 is spring cleaning, and that is what are you planning to unhaul? I just have a bag on the floor that's filled with books. I don't really unhaul books of like old editions or like ugly covers that I don't like, and I buy like newer versions of that I like. I tend to buy books and then I'll keep them. The only time that I've ever really unhauled books are just books that I don't really plan on rereading. I am dumb sometimes, and I will buy books that I already own and then forget that I have that until I'm like reorganizing my shelf, and I realize I have 2 of a kind of book that I'm like, why do I have this one? I'm just gonna throw that one, not throw it away, but I'm gonna throw it in the bag and I'm gonna give it away to like Goodwill or something.
So for this one, I am going with these 2 books. I've had these sitting on my shelves since probably my senior year of high school, and at one point these were like my most anticipated books that I would like to read, but I feel like I don't really have the same drive to read them as I did before, and I've never read them. They've just been sitting there, and I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to them, but now there are so many books stacking up that I just can't wait to get to, and I feel like these have fallen so far down on my TBR that I don't know if it'll be worth it to keep them on my shelf, because I don't know if I'll ever get to them. And number 7 is follow up with which ones you would like to replace them. I don't need to plan to replace any. I've already replaced them. Spring cleaning does not quite work if you're also a hoarder. I got all these books. This one just came with my Illumicrate box, so I already had this one down here, Court of Silver Flames, but here we are. I got another one. And then all these ones, I read these 2. I just needed them for my collection. And then these 3 right here, I just, yeah. Yep, I did it. I did it. Please judge me in the comments.
There are some books that I am planning on getting, and I'm just gonna name them here. And I'll probably put them off to the side. We have Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I'm currently listening to that, and she does the audiobook for it. It is amazing. It's something that I just want to own and highlight the heck out of. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. We have City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. But that one, again, I love the setting. I love the era that it's talking through. House of Cerulean Sea, I think that's how you say it, by T.J. Klune. I want to read that one. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig? God, I feel like such a dummy when it comes to these names right now. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I literally am so excited. I want to read Cemetery Boys because I really want to read a sequel. Like, both books have such amazing covers. I love the LGBT aspect. I love the adventure aspect. Like, I want to read it. Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I started listening to that on Libby and I got hooked. And then Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. All these books, I'm very excited to read. I have an ever-growing list on Goodreads that I want to read, and I just,
Okay, so I'm not quite sure if we are tagging anybody, but I have to wrap this up. So, if you are tagged, I will put you right here in text form. Do you see it? Is anyone tagged? I don't even know yet. I guess we're gonna find out. But thank you so much. We love your guys' constant support, and if you would like to do this tag, please feel free to tag yourself. Just imagine that I put your name right here.
Well, that's it for us today. We hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as well, we would love for you to leave a comment. Tell us your favorite thing about spring or your least favorite thing about spring.
Yeah, and also please make sure to check out our Instagram and TikTok, which we will put right here, or right here, or right here. Not quite sure yet. Guess we'll find out. Editing ran. But yeah, we love to post over on our Instagram. We post all of our updates there, and then also our TikTok. We've just been putting a bunch of funny random content that we really enjoy making, so please make sure to check it out. We'd love to see you guys over there. But yeah, cheers!
Bye! Cheers, everyone. I am very excited to eat.
Goodbye.